Hi, as you all may know, my name is Jasmine. I'm Violeta's daughter. And this is my testimony. Growing up, I was raised by a single parent. My mom. My dad was somewhat in my life, but not as much as I would like him to be. But at least he was there. When I was younger, I had a stepfather that was in my life, and I thought he was great at first, till I realized he was an alcoholic. He was mentally unstable. So I would get made fun of a lot, and always have to argue and fight with someone when they would call him my dad, knowing I had a dad. Even though when he would come around, I would see him for a few hours, then wait till the next time he would come around. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. I was sexually abused as a child. At first, I lied about who abused me out of fear, and always thought it was my brother Mike who protected me, and he did. But I know now that it was God who protected me. Amen. I ran away from home time and time again because I felt that was the only way to get away from home, get away from the abuse, get away from everyone and everything. I lived on the streets, I stole from stores just to eat, and I refused to go back home because I felt the one place I'm supposed to feel safe, I was not safe. I would come back home, but then because my mom would work so much and I was scared, I would run away again. I felt so unsafe at home that my mom, she took me to court and put a pin warrant out on me because I wouldn't listen. I was disrespectful. I would answer her back. I would hang out until I felt like it, then come home, go to bed, and do it all over again. I would ditch school every day until I eventually dropped out of school. Now mind you, I was an A and B student in advanced classes, but I wasn't happy with my life. At one point in time, I hated my mom for working and not being home when the abuse happened. I blamed her for not being there enough. I felt she didn't love me. I felt like I was worthless. I was told by my abuser, you would never be anything. No one wants you. No one loves you. And so when I went to court for the pins warrant, I remember the judge asking me if I wanted to go home and listen. That if I did, I would be placed in a group home. And my response was, send me to the group home. I felt like I was misunderstood. Like no one knew why I was so angry, and no one cared to try and find out. But the one person that knew everything was my brother Mike. He knew what happened to me, he knew who did it. We had a bond that was untouchable. After being in the group home about 3 months, I ran away from there as well. And I ran to my brother Mike's house, where I knew I would be safe. He would never let anything happen to me, thank God. Then unthinkable happened. My brother, who was only 21, and I was 17 at the time, was murdered for beating his horn. He was my best friend, my brother, my diary, my partner in crime, my everything. And now he was gone. My whole world turned upside down. I started to hate everything. I would hang out more, I would drink, I would smoke, and just party all the time. Thank God I had fear in me, so I never experienced any other drugs. But I asked God, why my brother? Why not me? I begged God to bring him back and take me, but nothing. I felt like God was punishing me for everything I ever did. So I met someone and got married a few months later. And that turned into 3.5 years of domestic violence. But at least I wasn't home. I didn't have to be sexually abused. I didn't have to be scared. And who wouldn't rather physical abuse than sexual abuse, right? But after 3.5 years of abuse, I couldn't take it anymore. And I knew he would end up eventually killing me if I stayed. So I got out, thank God. I then moved to California for a few months and wound up coming back to New York. After about a year, I ran into an old friend and started dating him. And what a mistake. He wound up to be a drug user, and I didn't do drugs, so it was total chaos. He wound up stealing from my family, and I got the blame. I got my life threatened, which I prayed to God every day that even though I had nothing to do with it, I am still being blamed. That God touches the heart of my brother and spares my life. After he stole from my family and ruined my life, he just disappeared. Never heard from him again. A few months after that, I met a wonderful man who asked me to marry him. And I said yes. But then guess what? He died in a car accident. So once again, I asked God, why? Why me? Why do you keep taking everyone I love away from me? Why are you punishing me? Why do you hate me so much? And still no answer. So I moved to California to help my cousin take care of her children. At first it was perfect. I was happy. I had gotten my GED. I was in college. I was working. I was going to church and was surrounded by family. Then I met someone once again. I was scared, but I let nature take its course. I was finally happy, but then my cousin didn't like him because he was taking up too much of my time from helping her with the children. So it was either leave him or figure out a way to help her more, even though I was tired. I wanted a life. I wanted to be happy, and I loved her kids. So I dropped out of college. He was sent overseas. I waited 6 months. He was in the Navy. He came home and volunteered to go away for another 6 months. And while he was gone, I spoke to him and told him, "You're always overseas. I barely get to talk to you. I see you for a few months while you're home and then back overseas. I can't do this anymore." Even though I loved him, but after 4.5 years, we broke up, but we're still friends to this day. So now I was single. I left college. I was working for the government. I still wasn't happy. So I went to a concert with some coworkers and met someone else. Now I was tired of being hurt. I was just tired of being let down. I thought I fell head over heels. We dated for about 6 months, and we decided to get married. Then the abuse started. At first it was verbal, and I asked God to please help me deal with it, even though I had turned my back on him. And we started going to church. But then once we stopped going to church, something else would come over my husband. When the violence started, I remember being choked. I almost passed out. I remember him taking my phone, my car keys, my wallet, my money, the house keys, so I couldn't go anywhere. And he would disappear for a whole weekend. I had no food, no money, nothing. I remember getting evicted and having to sleep in my car because I had no money, no place to live. My cousin told me I needed to work things out with my husband. And so I lived in my car, took a shower at the gym, and made it to work on time every day. I was so scared of him because he had threatened me that if I left, he would kill my family. And I believed him because he was a Marine, had access to guns and all types of weapons. I asked him to go back to church with me, thinking that would solve everything, and he refused. I asked him to go to counseling. He refused. He was controlling. He was sneaky, and I was depressed, scared, and didn't have nowhere to turn. My ex-husband had made me lose my job. I got stabbed in my head by him. I was arrested for defending myself, and I was tired. I felt like God had turned his back on me for me turning my back on him. Then I found another job. I met a wonderful woman named Pam, who didn't know anything about me, didn't judge me, pulled me to the side after knowing me a whole 2 weeks and said, "I know something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but if you ever need a friend, call me at any time." I was depressed, scared. My dad had just passed away from ALS. My husband was abusive. He was cheating on me. And my cousin had moved to Maryland. I was alone in California and didn't know what to do. The next morning at 6 a.m., my ex-husband had hit me and said he was going to go get a gun and kill me. So I called her, left the house with my work uniform and a change of clothes. Met up with Pam, who took me to her house. I went to work that day with her, got a restraining order, filed a police report, and went to pick up my belongings that night. My ex-husband had ripped up all the pictures of my dad and my grandparents, the only photos I had of my grandparents, and pictures of my brother. I prayed God to protect me, for him not to let the anger out. My ex-husband was arrested and sentenced to only 5 months, 10 police reports, and being arrested and let go 3 days later 9 times. I lived with my best friend 2 years because of fear that he would come back and kill me. Then I moved into my own apartment. My best friend had moved to Texas. Once again, I was alone, scared, and lost. I would pray, but I had no faith, because I didn't think God loved me. I thought once again that he had turned his back on me. Maybe I was getting what I deserved. Maybe I would never be loved. Maybe I should just end it all. Then my ex-husband found me at work one day and said he needed some help. Even though everything he did to me, I prayed and asked God if I should help him, and his answer was yes. So I took my ex-husband in and gave him a roof over his head, and at first he seemed to be a changed man. But then he started stealing from me. He started to threaten me. I had asked him to leave, and he would sit outside my apartment door, call me and tell me he was waiting for me. I would use my vacation and sick days not to go into work. I would lock myself in my apartment for days at a time, put my phone on silent. I wouldn't answer the door. I would wait till I could hear him walk away, maybe to use the bathroom or get something to eat so I can use the bathroom, take a 2-minute shower, or make something to eat. I was a prisoner in my own home. I knew that this time he would really kill me if I didn't get away from him. And by this time we were divorced. He had a daughter, and his daughter's mother had kicked him out, gotten him arrested, and kept him away from his daughter. But I knew if I didn't get away, I would probably never see my family again. And God protected me once again. My ex-husband was arrested for beating up his daughter's mother, and I was free again. My best friend moved back to California, and I was still depressed, on medication, and having suicidal thoughts. That was when I felt, what do I have to live for? And it was my first attempt at suicide. I took a bottle of Vicodin and started to take the pills. I wasn't getting sleepy, so I took a bottle of penicillin that a friend had at her house, knowing I'm allergic to penicillin. And when I started, to fall asleep, my friend called 911, and all I remember is waking up in the hospital and being referred to a psychiatrist. I continued to work for a while, then got sick with gallstones, and I called my mom every day to pray for me, because I felt maybe God would answer her prayers, as he sure wasn't answering my prayers. I was hospitalized, my gallbladder was removed, and I had complications. I was miserable, I was depressed, still on medication, alone, and I prayed that God would help me. I tried to end my life once again, but this time I cut my wrist. Then I called a friend, gave her my car keys, told her I needed her to take me somewhere. I would be gone for 72 hours. I checked myself into a mental hospital because I knew that I would probably kill myself if I didn't get help. I was hospitalized 25 days and only released because the hospital had spoken to my mom, and she told them that I was moving back to New York. About a month later, I sent all my clothes to New York in boxes, and I drove home with my dad's remains. My mom had spine surgery when I came home, and it scared me and made me love my mother more than I had in the past. We still had our ups and downs here and there, little misunderstandings, but who doesn't? I was working wherever I could. My mom would pray for me, and I would pray once in a while. And when I felt like giving up, I would pick up my Bible and read it. And I would find peace, but still I wasn't happy. My mom had invited me to come to MGT, and I would go once in a while because I just wanted to make her happy, and I would love to hear Chris sing. But then I started listening to what the pastor was saying, and it would make sense. One night at prayer service, Jovan was sharing, and I felt like he was talking to me, like no one else was in the building, but the both of us. And I was blessed by the word of Joanne was sharing. I knew I was where God wanted me to be. I was where I belonged. I felt like I was home. I feel the love when I walk into church. It feels like because of everyone's love for Jesus, they love me just as Jesus loved me. Without judging me. Or even knowing me. Then I stopped coming to church. I fell into depression. I was now labeled bipolar and given more medication. I was miserable. But then I started coming back to MGT. I found a job. I was starting to get my life on track. Last year, my mom got sick and was hospitalized for VBS. I knew she was looking forward to VBS, so I came in her place. I knew it would make her happy at first. I just did it for her. But I was touched by all the children, how much they learned, how happy they were, and how they wanted to know more about Jesus. And I was ashamed. I felt like I had betrayed God. Like I let him down and myself. But because of my experience at VBS last year, I now know that all those times I felt God turned his back on me, he was protecting me. Amen. Because if not, I would probably be dead. God protected me from all the abuse I had ever been through. God protected me when my ex-husband could have killed me. God even protected me from myself when I tried to end my own life. Now I can say I have been off medication for a year. No signs of depression. I had gotten into a relationship last year, but at the first sign of abuse, I got up and walked away. I am a survivor because God is my protector. I have cut myself off from all friends because I'd rather focus on God-fearing Christian friends who I am now starting to get to know and who have welcomed me here at MGT with open arms. I normally work and stay home, but since I have been coming to MGT every Sunday, have finished my Christian foundation classes. By the way, if y'all haven't went to the classes, y'all need to go because Damaris is amazing. She's funny. And I'm starting to break out of my shell and getting to know more brothers and sisters from church and getting involved. I got baptized here, and now I'm a member of MGT, and I am also involved with ANYC with some awesome youth workers and great people. I can come to my brothers and sisters in time of need or just to say hi. I know that God is faithful and he is the way, the truth, and the life. Amen. I know now that God does not give you anything you cannot handle. I'm glad I have a God-fearing family who are prayer warriors, and no matter what I have been through, have always been there for me, and who have never stopped praying for me. And also for my church family, who continue to pray for me and love me unconditionally. God has been so good to me. He has blessed me with an amazing boss who doesn't mind switching my schedule so I can come to church. Amen. Or to give me time off so I can go on the teen retreat. And who just offered me a full-time position at work. God has blessed my mother's house so that she can do VBS with me this year. And he has blessed me with many brothers and sisters who I am proud to call family here at MGT. In closing, I would like to share these Bible verses with you. Psalms 5:11. But let all who take refuge in your rejoice. Let them sing joyful praises forever. Protect them so all who love your name may be filled with joy. Ezra 9:9. For we were slaves, but in his unfailing love, our God did not abandon us in our slavery. Instead, he caused the kings of Persia to treat us favorably. He revived us so that we were able to rebuild the temple of God and repair its ruins. He has given us a protection wall in Judah and Jerusalem. And my last verse is Proverbs 2:8. He guards the paths of justice and protects those who are faithful to him. So you see, God always protects you no matter what. He's always there, whether you think you need him or not. Even more when you think you don't need him. Thank you for letting me say that.